Today's video, we are going to talk about nested for loops, which is very important for understanding the concept of two-dimensional arrays. That is the reason why nested for loop is introduced here before two-dimensional arrays. A nested for loop means one loop inside another loop. I mean to say, look, the outer loop controls I and the inner loop controls j. So for each value of I, the inner loop runs completely from start to end. Let me give an example. I have two for loops here. The outermost loop reads for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 2, I plus plus, inside which there is another nested for which reads for j equal to 1, j less than or equal to 3, j plus plus. Inside the loop, I print the values of I and j. The innermost loop is closed, outermost loop is closed, and the program ends. Let us trace. I equal to 1, 1 is less or equal to 2, true. So get into the innermost loop. J equal to 1, 1 is less or equal to 3, true. Print the value of I and j. I equal to 1, j equal to 1. J gets incremented by 1, j equal to 2, 2 is still less or equal to 3, so print the value of I and j. J gets incremented by 1, so j becomes 3. 3 is less or equal to 3, yes, so print the value of I and j. J gets again incremented by 1, j becomes 4. 4 is not less or equal to 3, so the first run for the outer loop iteration is done, and after this, I gets incremented by 1. Very important point to note here. I becomes 2, 2 is less or equal to 2, innermost loop runs again. J equal to 1, yes, 1 is less or equal to 3. Print the value of I and j. I equal to 2, j equal to 1. J gets incremented by 1, j is equal to 2, 2 is less or equal to 3. Print the value of I and j. Again, j gets incremented by 1, j is equal to 3, 3 is still less or equal to 3, so print the value of I and j. J gets again incremented by 1, j becomes 4, 4 is not less or equal to 3. So this is the second run for outer loop iteration where it is over. Again, I is incremented by 1, I value becomes 3, 3 is not less than or equal to 2, so here the outermost loop ends. So this is the very simple example of a nested for loop, which every one of you should be very thorough with for understanding the concept of a two-dimensional array. So how does the loop execute? The outermost loop I runs from 1 to 2, whereas the innermost loop j runs from 1 to 3 for each value of I. Very important concept to note here. So what is going to be our output? I equal to 1, j equal to 1. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, and 2, 3. So why you have got such an output? Because when I is equal to 1, j runs from 1 to 3. When I is equal to 2, again j runs from 1 to 3. So each iteration prints one value. And that is the power of a nested for loop. Any doubts? Post it in the comment section. This video will be followed by the concept of a two-dimensional arrays, the significance and the examples of two-dimensional arrays in C programming. Thank you. Happy learning.